Greetings, beloved. Today we're going to be discussing things that Jesus ate and drank as evidenced by the Bible. It is absolutely crucial today to be eating healthily. As the Bible tells us that we should be imitators of Christ, let us delve into the Word of God with references so that we can learn the kinds of food that Jesus ate and do the similar thing. Jesus was never sick. For those that have read the Bible and some that are still on their journey, you will find that Jesus was never sick. At no point was he ever ill in any way whatsoever. Understanding what Jesus ate and drank during his time on earth provides our world today with valuable insights into his daily life and the cultural setting of his time. By learning what he ate and drank and the people in ancient times, we will be better able to grasp how things worked in the ancient Judean culture. We're starting off with bread. Even more so than today, bread was a staple in the typical diet of those who lived during the first century Greco-Roman world. It's also assumed that Jesus ate coarse barley bread as it was most accessible during his time. The fact that Jesus ate bread was even made more apparent during the Last Supper, described in Matthew 26:26. During the meal, Jesus took and blessed the bread, broke it, and gave it to his disciples. "Take, eat, this is my body." Lentils. During Jesus' time, there was no mass production of food. Therefore, food was a very limited resource, and this forced people to become frugal eaters who survived on what was available to them. One of the most common food options during his time was legumes, which included lentils. Lentils were even mentioned in Genesis 25:34, which reads, "And Jacob gave Esau bread and the dish of lentils, and he ate and drank and rose up and went away." Lentils, when sprouted, their nutrition value increases. So whether you're eating sprouted lentils, whether you're eating lentils boiled, cooked, start including it in your diet. Beans. Like many ordinary people during his time, Jesus lived on a simple diet of many vegetables, and beans was very popular. There's parts of the Bible that also mentioned when beans were consumed or when beans were used as an ingredient. An example of this is in Ezekiel 4:9. Tells a tale of how beans were used as an unusual source of bread, and it reads, "Take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt, put them into a storage jar and use them to make bread for yourself." Grains. Barley or wheat were among the most common grain forms during Jesus' time. They were usually made into bread, and it's believed that the poor ate barley bread while the rich ate bread made from wheat. It is said that barley or wheat grains were ground together between two millstones, almost always by women, and this was done at home. Jesus eating grains can also be traced back through Matthew 12:1, which reads, "At that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry and began to pick some heads of grain and eat them." Fish. During Jesus' time, fish was a far more common choice than meat. The miracle of the multiplication of fish and bread also attests to this. Additionally, in a more historical and geographic context, the Sea of Galilee was known to be abundant in fish. Therefore, it was a staple during Jesus' time. Lamb. Meat was considered a luxury in olden times. Therefore, not many common folk ate it, nor was it a staple. However, there are instances when meat, especially those from goats or lambs, were consumed, such as the Passover. Jesus and his disciples were present and ate during the Passover supper. Since lamb is considered a staple of this ancient event, it is believed that Jesus ate lamb too. Vegetables. The Bible is filled with many mentions of fruits and vegetables. Although beans and lentils were most popular, other vegetables such as cucumbers, onions, leeks were also well known and consumed. And we reference this from the book of Numbers 11:5, which reads, "We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic." So Jesus essentially ate a Mediterranean diet rich in whole grains, fish, fruit, and vegetables. Olives and olive oil. Olives were abundant during Jesus' time, so olives and olive oil were most likely part of his daily diet. Most olives would have been eaten directly, while others were pressed for oil. Considered liquid gold during the olden days, it was so prized and treasured that it sometimes functioned as a form of currency. Isn't that interesting? Cheese and other dairy products. Cheese and milk were largely consumed. Cow milk was rare, but lamb or goat milk wasn't. Additionally, since milk tended to get rancid quickly, making cheese out of it was a common practice. Walnuts. People got ample amounts of protein by consuming nuts. An example of a nut consumed during his time was walnuts, which were believed to contain healthy fats. Walnut trees grew around the Sea of Galilee during his time. Almonds. Another type of nut that was popular during Jesus' time was almonds. Though it can be found worldwide now, it was initially harvested in the northern mountains of Palestine and the southern mountains of Syria, which are considered parts of Galilee. This nut was first mentioned in Genesis when Jacob sent almonds as a gift to Joseph, but it holds many meanings and significance to the church today. Honey. Today, there are many ways to sweeten food. However, during Jesus' time, one of the few options was honey, the sweetener used for most things. In the Bible, honey is mentioned many times, and its meaning is often associated with prosperity and abundance. Date palms. Some dates exist today, but date palms, which Jesus ate during his time, are different. They are fruits of ancient. Grapes. Grapes and vineyards were abundant in ancient Israel and during Jesus' time. Because of this, grapes were often eaten directly, while others were made into wine. Pomegranates. Pomegranates were often made into fruit juice, which people greatly enjoyed as an alternative to other drinks. This fruit was considered a symbol of righteousness in Judaism. Figs. Figs could be harvested 2 months in the year, mid-June and August, during Jesus' time. Figs are common in the Middle East today, but they were first cultivated in Canaan before the Israelites arrived. Figs were a common fruit, and they were eaten fresh or dried like raisins. They could have also been fermented for longer keeping. Bitter herbs. Bitter herbs were hugely associated with the Passover. It is believed to be similar to a salad or condiment that should be eaten with the lamb. Bitter herbs are also known to include lettuce, endive, chicory, and more. The bitter herbs of the Passover are a reminder that humanity is no longer enslaved to sin, but is being of free will who is loved by Christ. Garlic. Ancient Jews preferred strongly seasoned food, and one way in which they did this was by using garlic, which was already used as an ingredient for cooking during these times. Though some people think garlic was found in Egypt, there are accounts that this specific crop was grown in the Holy Land, making it available to Jesus during his time. Mustard. Mustard is another type of seasoning that was common during Jesus' time. In fact, Jesus even said something about the mustard seed, which is still sometimes contested today, but we read in the book of Matthew 17:20, "If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move hence to yonder place,' and it will move, and nothing shall be impossible to you." I pray that you have enjoyed this teaching, and going forth, you will include these foods in your diet. Take care. God bless you.